our ecosystem and biodiversity. No, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the good impact of GMO in our medicine. GMOs play major role in the development of several vaccines. For example, Ebola virus, flu, and many GMO vaccines contain specific proteins as their main ingredients, and we still have not find the alternative of GMO in medicine. And if you really want to ban GMO, therefore you have to find the other option that can also provide the same help as GMO in medicine. And by the year 2000, there were over 1,000 GE drugs on the market, and all of that already clinically tested and safe that can help. No, thank you. That can help the consumer, and also GE drugs is proof to help people to suffer from their medical condition such as pain, and it already produced for a very long time. This is proof our argument that say GMO is safe in medicine because it's already clinically tested and already proof that it can help people from their medical condition. And now, the research at MAP Biopharmaceutical created ZMAP, an experimental drug that received positive results for helping victims of the ongoing West African Ebola outbreak. Now, we will moving to the second impact of GMO, which is clothing. GMO cotton helping to reduce cost savings in chemicals and manual labor was estimated between 15 to 30%, which means that we state here that GMO reduce the use of chemicals and manuals, which is the main chemicals inside the organic agriculture. Then it means that the farmer can cost savings because they don't really need to use chemicals and manuals if they use organic agriculture. Now we will, and also BT cotton is effective in controlling the yield losses caused by pesticides such as Aedes vitella and Pectinophosa gossypiella. And now moving to the last one, which the help of GMO in ecosystem and biodiversity. Ladies and gentlemen, in consequence, environmental benefits of organic agriculture are less pronounced or even absent if measured per unit of product than per unit of area. And organic agriculture, it refrains from using synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, which it can promote crop rotations and focus on soil fertility and close nutrient cycles. And GMO have reduced pesticide applications by 7.2% and help increase crop yields by 22%. And that's why we believe that GMO bring good impact in many aspects such as medicine, clothing, and also ecosystem and biodiversity. It proved by our argument that GMO can bring more good than harm for our life. And that's all that I can say. Thank you for listening.
Okay, the second speaker of the opposition team spent 6 minutes and 18 seconds.
And I'll invite the third speaker from the government team. Time is yours. And your time starting now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, salve, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. And very good morning towards panel of educator, timekeepers, speakers, college oppositions, and people of the floor. First of all, let me introduce myself first. I am Ignacia de Loyola Meto, and I'm standing here as the third speaker, representative of my beloved school, SMA 4 Kupang. Here, I will again explain what had been told by my first and second speaker, and I will review and provide conclusions as the support for our argument today. Okay. Let's see our first argument with a very extraordinary motion called "This House does not support GMO in agriculture." Started with the definition. Ladies and gentlemen, GMO stands for genetically modified organisms. It is plants that have been modified by scientists to several purposes. One of them is to develop agriculture. But here, my beloved honorable educator and also all of the happy audience, I will tell you that in developed agriculture, by using GMO plants, they give several negative impacts to agriculture too. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, and all of my beloved happy audience, this I will bring some points that have been told by my first and second speaker about the negative impact that have been given by GMO to agriculture. First, GMO can be dangerous for human because anything that has chemicals on it is dangerous. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we know that everything that built with chemicals is, I don't say that it's not good, but sometimes if it's over the limit, it's not good. For example, that have been told by my second speaker, in our society or real life, medicine. If we consume medicine over the limit, what will happen? Overdoses, that's right. And also, the second point is GMO would harm local farmers' income. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, local farmers will be harmed by GMO because distribution will change to GMO products. The third one, GMO will replace various local plants and animals in Indonesia. Remember this, local plants. Okay, so why I said that? Because GMO, we know that GMO is modified, something that modified by scientists, that something that new or maybe unique. Yeah, but GMO, we know that GMO is modified, something that modified by scientists that makes or have a difference with normal plants. First, we know that GMOs maybe have bigger plants or maybe colored plants or the other one. For example, that have been told by my first and second speaker, the example that we can see in real life is pumpkin, the bigger pumpkin, also the purple or the colored corn that have been viral in social media and any platforms that we can see in our headphone. And also, here I will ask the opposition team that why they are giving, they may be giving the research of the benefits or maybe the positive impact from the GMO in agriculture, but they didn't give us the real life example that we can see in our life every day. They didn't give that. That means, because what, guys, ladies and gentlemen, maybe we can't see something that have been on data or maybe the fact or maybe that have been proved by another one, but the real important thing is how if we already experience it, or maybe we see in our in front of our eyes. That's the real important thing. Why? Because yeah, maybe the other people can give their own research or maybe their own opinion, but the important thing is ourselves. Is it we can see in our eyes or not? So that's yeah, yes, please.
May I?
Yes.
Alright, so you say that we have no, so you say that there are no real life examples. So you think that medicine, clothing, is that something that we don't need in our real life?
Okay, thank you for the POI from the opposition team. I don't say that we don't need medicine. Okay, I don't say that we don't need medicine as human. I say that if we consume chemical things such as medicine, can be impact for our life if it's over the limit. Okay, so my opponent from opposition team, that's my answer for your POI. And also here I will strengthen again my argument that I am representative of my government team, totally agree with the motion that this house does not support GMO in agriculture, because GMO is a modified organism that built by scientists that have several impact. Especially the negative impact for our life, especially in human life, or maybe and also the ecosystem and the other plants. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Santi Santi Om. Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan.
Okay, the third speaker of the government team spent 6 minutes and 59 seconds.
And now I'm inviting the third speaker from the opposition team. Stage is yours. And your time starts now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here as the third speaker from the opposition team. Would like to support the motion, this House support GMO in agriculture. Before I move on to our argument, first of all, I would like to point out some arguments from the government team. First, they talk that GMO use more pesticide, but my second speaker have already proved that GMO use less pesticide for about 7.2%. Second, they already admit that GMO is easy to plant, but that's why we support GMO, because it can't feed the whole population. Second, my first speaker have already, no thank you, my first speaker have already talk about the burden of proof. So in order for the government team to win, they have to prove that they can fulfill the burden of proof. First, they have to prove that GMO is harmful, and there is a solution other than GMO for industrial agriculture that can most mass produce without GMO, and they prove nothing for it. They talk about the effect for health and the effect for medicine and stuff, but they don't give any data to support their arguments, while we, the opposition team, give you a lot of data to support that GMO is truly safe and it could feed the whole population. And they talking about overdoses for GMO medicine, but we are not talking about overdoses. We are talking about GMO is safe, and my second speaker have already proved that GMO is effectively proof, especially for drugs and medicine. And overdoses is the fault of the users, not the GMO products. And they keep talking that we don't give any real life examples, but you can see that my first speaker and my second speaker have already told you a lot of data and a lot of real life examples that could support our arguments. So that's why we believe that the government team have not proved the government team proved nothing in this debate. Now, I would like to start from our first argument. First, GMO benefit on human. GMOs are safe for human health, and the risk that could probably cause fatal effects on human health is very low. And it could already prove by my first speaker, the data, and also the people with credential. For example, Dr. Errol Merrily say that GMO's probability to cause serious illness is very low, for example, cancer. And GMO products also increase the nutritional portion in the product itself. For example, soybeans and corn of GMO products. And it's already proved by the National Academy for Science. Also, the second argument is GMO benefit on animal. GMO does not just feed the living creator like human, it also used for the animal. For example, GMO is used to feed the animals, for example, soybeans, because GMO is totally safe for the living creators. And the living creators rely on the GMO product for now. And the third one is GMO is benefit in clothing. BD cotton is also one of the product from GMO, and it proved that it reduced the savings, the cost for the chemical and manual labor, which we see that the organic things and organic products use chemical and manual labor often, and it could take a lot of fundings, but GMO products use less than it, and it's really effective for savings for the cost and fundings. And also, it helps for a big percentage. For example, like 15 until 30% of the cost is savings because of the GMO products. That proves that GMO is really saving for GMO cotton or BD cotton really safe for the chemical and mineral labor. And the next argument is GMO benefit on medicine. GMO played an important role, for example, on vaccines to deal with the virus such as Ebola virus and flu virus. And by this year, on 2000 until now, there are more than 100 products of GMO drugs that sell in the market. This conclude and this prove that GMO is totally safe. If it's not safe, then they will not sell it in the market. It is totally, credential, and it is proof that it can sell in the market because it's totally safe. And the next one is GMO benefit in environmental. GMO use less pesticide. No, thank you. GMO use less pesticide. For example, they reduce 7.2% of pesticide. And also, GMO also use less land. For example, GMO savings to 20% of crop yields, and it improved that GMO produce a lot without amount need of land. That's why we believe that GMO is a better alternative other than other things to feed the population. And my first speaker have already said the solution. They have stated that there is no better alternative other than GMO, because GMO is totally better to feed the whole population. First, we have to rely more on GMO because that is the way in order to make this population can have a good amount of food. And the second one, if there is seeds that is probably could have an impact for the environment or have a bad effect for that, the government have to analyze and pick the good GMO seeds to plant and that's our solution, because GMO is yes Yolo. Yeah.
Also the population, GMO is not natural plants.
Yes.
GMO is something that modified. So GMO is takes and develop.
Yes, I understand, Miss. Thank you.
Develop
Yes, I understand your point. You can sit down. Yes, I'll understand. Yes, we know that GMO is modified plants, but here there's a lot of data that prove that GMO is totally safe. My first speaker and second speaker have already told about the data that could prove that GMO is safe for human, animal, clothing, medicine, and environmental, and you keep arguing that it's not safe. Are you sure? Now I would like to move to, I would like to explain more. That's why we cannot rely on organic agriculture, because it's not enough to feed the whole population. Because organic agriculture can feed the population just until 2050, and we don't know whether it could improve more. And now GMO is used in 90% of the population. That's why we have to rely on GMO. And as the opposition team of the House, we support the motion. This House support GMO in agriculture. Thank you.
Okay, the third speaker of the opposition team spent 8 minutes and 14 seconds.
And I'll invite the reply speaker from the opposition team. The time is yours and it's starting now.
Good morning, honorable educators, fellow debaters, and audiences. Thank you for the time and chance given to me. I'm here now standing as the reply speakers of the opposition team. And we would like to justify our place here in today's motion, which is this House does not support GMO in agriculture. So for us, the resolved motion would be this House does support GMO in agriculture. So you might think that we doesn't actually support local or organic agriculture, but it's not that our team doesn't support organic agriculture, nor that we want to extinct it, but we believe that GMO should be supported and not banned, because if it is operated properly, then it can actually cause more benefit, and it doesn't harm the local agriculture if it does correctly and properly. So we would like to point out some flaws that our opponent, the government team, has actually made, and we have noted it here. First, they actually state that GMO is solely for the purpose of entertainment, to entertain the customers that buy GMO products. We would like to state that you guys actually underestimate our arguments here, because this shows that your team doesn't have a good understanding of this topic. Because as we know, GMO is of course more than the purpose of entertainment. And also, instead of talking about the real harm of GMO, your team actually provide an example of produces vegetables that is created by GMO, which is irrelevant, because in order to win this debate, of course, you need to prove firstly about the harm of GMO and the example of the case, not the example of the product. Also, they keep talking about how chemical is dangerous. But if chemicals is dangerous in the first place, it's the fact that a lot of things in our life contain chemicals. And you also said that chemicals is dangerous if it is over the limit. But does GMO even have a limit? And also, they said that GMO harms the environment and ecosystem. But our second speaker has already proved in her arguments that it is not harmful, but it is instead beneficial for the environment and even the ecosystem. And also, the demand for the government team here is to actually bring a solution, but they didn't provide a solution from the start, which, by the way, is a part of their burden of proof. And the last thing here that is needed to be pointed out is that they have the limited or the minimum amount of proof in data, and that is a proof that they failed to justify their position and they've also failed to justify their very extraordinary arguments in their motion, which of course lead us to the conclusion on which team is actually the strong one in this competition. And by that, I'm saying that our team has the higher possibility to win today's debate. Once again, our team supports GMO in agriculture. Thank you for the time and chance given to me.
The reply speaker of the opposition team spent 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
And now I'll invite the reply speaker from the government team to take your stand. And your time starting now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, salve, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. And again, a very good morning for all of us here, the educator, the timekeepers, my college opposition, and all the people of the floor. Okay, I don't have to introduce myself because you already know me. Here, I will again strengthen that my team from government team is really agree with the motion. This house does not support GMO in agriculture. But first, I will also again strengthen that GMO is modified organisms that have several purposes. That's I want to tell to the opposition team because they have underestimated my arguments. I mean my team arguments about how GMO, the function of GMO, what they haven't hear about our argument is just GMO function is just to entertain the society or maybe the customer that to buy the GMO products, but they didn't hear my second and my arguments that GMO actually have several purposes and to entertain the society and also the customer is one of the several purposes. And also, my brother and sister from opposite team rejected our point of interruption that something that we want to ask about their argument. They say that GMO helps a lot of population and also have better impact for human. That's my team and I personally really disagree with that because we know that GMO is a modified organism. That's something has been modified. It's not naturally. It's not something naturally plants on earth. So we take that and we make them as the something that impact have the positive impact for us. So that's the point is. GMO is something modified that is not naturally, so we can say that it's better for our life or maybe the ecosystem, and also it's not have an impact for the other plants. Do you understand what I mean? And also, I have told to you guys, especially my honorable judges, that GMO have negative impacts. One of them, all of them I already told you in my argument before this, and the point is GMO has negative impact for our life, also the ecosystem. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, salve, om santi santi, om namo buddhaya, salam kebajikan.
Okay, the reply speaker of the government team spent 4 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay, let's give some applause to both teams. And for the remaining time, I'll give time for the educators to give some words.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give round of applause once again to the debate that's just happened. Really, really amazing performance by you guys. As the adjudicators, I appreciate both of the performance, either from government team as well as from the opposition team. You both did a really great job, yeah, regardless of whatever that you think of yourself. But in general, you have performed well. Yeah, so you have to, appreciate yourself for that. Okay, let's talk about the debate a little bit in general. So this has been a controversial issue, and I think that this motion is interesting compared to the other, because you can really play from both sides, and you can actually explore the arguments from both sides really well. So this not necessarily benefits to any of the group. So yeah, I think, yeah. And for the first speaker of the government team, actually your style is that you appear kind of your full reading, not talking. So this is a speech competition. So do not just put your you think that does not affect the scoring, but that really affect the scoring, right? Because that would kind of give low score for the style as well as strategy, no matter how good your content is. And the job of the first speaker from the government team is to define really well the definition of the motion being debated, as well as to outline the arguments in general that your second and third speaker will say. So you say, so for example, you say, okay, my second and third speaker will talk about this. Yeah. So you also have to outline things that have been done by the first speaker from the opposition team. Yeah, you outline your speech from the first, second, and third. Okay, and for the first speaker of the opposition team, there's a good assertion and few rebuttals, which is very important, and there is POI, so we can see dynamic of the whole debate, which is really good and interesting. You outline the speech and the role of each speaker, which is good, that is your job. And very good ARL, yeah. ARL is assertion, reasoning, evidence, and link back. That is the most important thing that all of you guys as the participants and debaters have to do. When you come in front of the stage, you have to provide first assertion, what is the motion that you support, and then the reasoning, the evidence, and link back. So do not just come and just do the reasoning without any evidence, yeah. And in general, if I want to say, from the opposition team, to some extent, they provide more evidence. Yeah, they provide more evidence. They come up with data from, Food and Administration, FDA in America, and cancer research, which I think that's kind of sounds good for us as the adjudicators, that we see data, yeah, we see evidence. And that's really important to strengthen your point. Okay. For the second speaker of the government team, I like that you have good tone and intonation. Your voice is loud enough, so it's good. But your argument is not very deep, because you just said something like GMO is dangerous because it contains chemicals, but you have to provide details. You can dig more details about that. You can provide more data that we expected as the adjudicator for you to provide. And there is a POI from other groups, so that's good. For the second speaker of opposition team, I think good, because you have presented the data once again, and you said that the growing of the GMO that happening now, actually they have lessened the percentage of pesticides. So, well, you can say that it is less harmful, yeah. So it's good that you provide the data for us to convince us, yeah. Yeah, for the third speaker of the government team, maybe you can summarize your first and second speaker arguments, but you have to elaborate more. Do not just focusing on restating again their arguments, but you have to add to enrich their arguments. Go deeper, be more specific, provide evidence. Yeah, that's something that I haven't seen it before, yes? And for the third speaker of the opposition team, I think you have done pretty good job because you are consistent with your reasoning and evidence and supporting the first and second speaker. Okay, we come to the scoring that have been decided by the three of us, the adjudicators here. Okay, the total score from the three adjudicators for the government team is 705. Give applause, everyone. And the total score for the opposition team, SMA 3, is 850. So congratulations in this debate. SMA 3 won the debate. Congratulations, and you may congratulate.
Okay, thank you so much for being cooperative as the observers as well. Yeah, you guys, please do not talk too loudly. That will, what do we say, disturb the debaters. Yeah. Okay. So now we are going to the next team who are going to debate today, and I will take the first team that I called are. Okay, SMA Giovanni versus SMA 9. Yeah, are you there? Yeah, yang sudah debat, mari mau foto bersama dulu. Sambil mempersiapkan diri, saya memanggil SMA Giovanni dengan SMA 9. Sudah ada ya? Bagaimana nak? Tadi Ban Pijak, oh? Aduh, praise God that you are already here. Ya. Oke, so yang sudah berdebat tadi, silakan ambil foto dulu karena panitia harus mendokumentasikan.
Iya, masih ketat.
Andi. Okay, done. Thank you. We are going to the next. Please, I would like to ask one of or two of the, one from each of the team to come here and pick a motion from this paper, roll paper here. So, yeah. Please come forward. Okay. Satu orang dari setiap tim, mari sini. Ada dua gulungan kertas, silakan ambil satu lalu diberikan kepada juri untuk kita melihat. Tidak, satu saja nak, karena itu motion. Ya, jadi kita setuju ya, satu ya, kamu setuju ya. Oke. Oke. Pergantian ini dulu sebelum saya baca ini. Pergantian timekeeper segala macam. Kan kamu shift toh? Iya, supaya bisa istirahat dulu. Yang tadi. pergi minum dulu. Kalau yang sekarang timekeepernya masih yang sama atau berganti? Ya, masih sama. Ya. Oh, oke, shift 1 dan 2, maaf. Saya tadi tidak tahu. Oke, so this house believes that moral education in modern schools are deteriorated. Yeah. This house believes that moral education in modern schools are deteriorated. Now, before you go to the stage for what do we say? Yeah. Now you'd like to draw, what do we say? Which one is negative, which one is positive? Okay. Okay. Giovanni, opposition, and SMA 9 is the government. Yeah, okay. So please take place on the stage. You may bring your notes now, and then for the LOs, guys, please provide paper for them. Jadi ada kertas yang disediakan panitia untuk kalian boleh mencatat, mempersiapkan motionnya. Tapi setelah itu, pada saat kalian mau tampil, semua catatan yang kamu bawa dari rumah tadi akan diambil. Hanya kertas yang ada cap dari panitia yang boleh ada di meja. Okay, so you take place on the stage. Opposition, and then government. Okay, guys, please go deliver the paper for them. Thank you, and then Hazel will continue moderating.
Okay, your preparation time is 30 minutes and it's starting now.
Radio. Radio. Radio.
5 minutes left. Your preparation time is up. And now I will invite the first speaker from the government team to take your stand. And your time starting now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the adjudicator, timekeeper, moderator, and the opposite team. I am Richie as the first speaker from the government team. My friends, Mario as the second speaker, and my friends too, Vista as the third speaker. This motion today is this House belief that moral education is in modern school is deteriorating. Education is a bridge to educate the nation generation. Education has a very important role in the progress of this country. If people have better education, then we will not underestimate it by other people and even by other countries. Education is the main profession in life. With education, we can distinguish what is good and what is bad. However, the current state of our education is very apprehensive. The moral and manners of our students are very low. Many of students like to fight with fellow students, act of violence. They don't even have the same of holding hands on a lack of public place. This is of course based on a lack of ethics and moral from the student themselves. Many things are a factor in the lack of student morale today. One that made the current moral crisis of students is that presence of gay